What really happened during Princess Leonor's 2-day tour of Navarre? They thought it was just another royal visit. A few smiles, a few handshakes, a few polite waves. But what really happened during Princess Leonor's 2-day tour of Navarre shocked everyone. Because behind the cameras, something deeper unfolded. A story of emotion, duty, and one unforgettable encounter that changed everything. Princess Leonor arrived in Navarre with quiet grace, stepping out of her royal car under soft morning light. The air was crisp, the streets lined with children waving red and gold flags. The crowd erupted with cheers as she smiled, poised yet humble, in her signature navy coat and pearl earrings. But those who were there that morning said she seemed different. Not nervous, not distant, but thoughtful, almost emotional, as if something was weighing on her heart. This wasn't just another public duty. It was her first solo regional tour since turning 18. Her first chance to stand not as the daughter of a king, but as Spain's future queen. And Navarre, steeped in history, pride, and quiet power, was the perfect stage. Day 1 began with a visit to a local military academy, where Leonor met young cadets training for service. Observers noted how her tone softened as she spoke to them, not the formal, distant tone of royalty, but something warmer. She laughed, she listened. One cadet said later, "She looked at us as equals." And that moment spread quickly across Spanish media. For a young princess, that gesture meant something more, a sign of the kind of queen she intends to be. But that wasn't the only thing people noticed. Cameras captured a rare off-script exchange. A young girl presented her with a hand-drawn picture of the royal family, but with one missing face, her mother, Queen Letizia. Leonor paused, smiled gently, and said softly, "Families are always together, even when the world can't see it." That small comment sparked a wave of speculation online. Was she addressing recent rumors of tension within the royal household? Or was it simply a moment of sincerity? Later that afternoon, she visited a cultural heritage site in Pamplona, an ancient monastery where history seemed to echo through every hall. Locals said she spent extra time inside the chapel, silent, reflective. A security guard whispered that she knelt in front of the altar longer than expected, lost in thought. Perhaps praying, perhaps remembering her grandmother, Queen Sofia, who once visited the same site decades ago. That night, Leonor stayed at the governor's residence, where a private dinner was held. Few details were released, but one thing leaked: she asked for the local menu, not the royal one. A simple gesture, but one that melted hearts across Spain. "She eats like us," one staff member said. "She listens. She laughs." Day 2 began early, under rain-soaked skies. Yet Leonor stepped out smiling, umbrella in hand, greeting people as though the storm didn't exist. Her first stop, a rural school perched on a hill outside Pamplona. There, she met children learning about sustainability and farming, subjects she's quietly passionate about. When one child asked, "Do you like being a princess?" Leonor laughed softly and replied, "I like learning how to serve." But then, something unexpected happened. As she prepared to leave, a sudden power outage struck the area. Cameras went dark. Reporters fell silent. For 20 minutes, Leonor remained inside the school with only a handful of locals. When power returned, she emerged with damp hair and a soft expression, different, calmer. No one knew what had happened inside. Later, one teacher whispered that Leonor had sat with the children in the dark, telling them stories about her training at the military academy, how she struggled, how she learned courage, how she felt lonely sometimes. She was real, the teacher said. Not a princess, not a symbol. Just a girl with a heart. That moment was never captured on camera. But it became the emotional center of the entire tour. By midday, the skies cleared, and Leonor attended her final event, a wreath-laying ceremony honoring soldiers lost in service. Her speech, delivered in perfect Spanish and Basque, was short but powerful. "The future belongs to those who serve, not those who expect to be served." The crowd rose to its feet. Applause thundered across the square. Even veterans wiped away tears. But what truly struck people was what she did afterward. As protocol dictated, she was meant to exit the stage directly. Instead, she stepped off and walked toward an elderly veteran in the front row, offering her hand and a quiet word. The cameras zoomed in, she was smiling, but her eyes glistened. Later, the veteran revealed her words, "Thank you for what you gave. I hope I can give as much." By evening, social media in Spain was ablaze. Princess Leonor showed us her heart, one headline read. Another called her, Spain's hope. But inside the palace, the mood was quieter. King Felipe reportedly told aides, "She's ready." That single phrase marked a turning point. Leonor's 2-day tour of Navarre wasn't just a royal engagement, it was her transformation. The moment she crossed the line between duty and destiny. Still, one mystery remained. That unscripted, off-camera moment during the blackout. What did she say? What truly happened? Palace insiders stayed silent, but one aide gave a hint. She spoke about fear. And about finding her purpose. And perhaps that's what the tour was really about. A young woman stepping out of her parents' shadow. Learning not just to represent Spain, but to embody it. To carry the weight of a crown not as a burden, but as a promise. As Leonor's car left Navarre that evening, the crowd gathered one last time. She rolled down the window, waved, and whispered something softly that a lip reader later caught, "Thank you for believing." 2 days. One princess. Countless hearts changed forever. And as the sun set behind the mountains of Navarre, Spain knew, this wasn't the end of a tour. It was the beginning of a reign.